Hello, everyone, and welcome to Saturday Shenanigans. If you love college football, you're in the right place because I'm here to give you some unfiltered college football content. But before we get started into the top games of Week 3 and my predictions, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I do this for fun, but it would still mean a lot if you guys could support. Let's get right into it. If you look at the schedule for Week 3, you're going to scroll down ESPN.com and say, there's no ranked matchups. This week absolutely sucks. I'm not tuning into any games. What we call this is a sleeper week. It's Week 3 of college football, meaning that most teams start their full conference schedule in Week 4, so they're obviously going to schedule lesser opponents to try to tune up for the conference play. With that being said, these weeks always seem to carry the craziest upsets, so I'm picking some of my favorite games that I can expect to be an upset and what I'm really looking for this week. We're going to start with the 9 a.m. block of games, the earliest games. And the reason why I say 9 is because I'm here on the West Coast, so I'm not going to translate it to 12 Eastern. You already know you can just add 3. Anyways, the Kansas State Wildcats, who are the 15th ranked team in the country, travel to face the Missouri Tigers, 2-0 versus 2-0. Both of these teams have played sort of cupcakes in their first 2 games, so we don't know much about them. I'm going to go with the Kansas State Wildcats here. They're favored by 3.5. I think they get the job done on the road. And the reason why I'm picking them is because the SEC hasn't played up to their standard in non-conference play. I'm just going conference to conference here because we genuinely don't know much about these teams. I think the Kansas State Wildcats win by a touchdown or more, and they cover the spread. Next up, another 9 a.m. game, the 14th ranked LSU Tigers versus the Mississippi State Bulldogs, and this is the first upset of the day I'm picking. I think Mississippi State beats LSU. The reason is LSU's confidence is down right now, especially after the first game. They played Grambling State in Week 2. They scored 72 points. That really doesn't matter. I just think when they go into Starkville, the environment's going to be super loud. It's an early game. Weird stuff happens, and I think LSU loses, getting their second loss of the season and eliminating them from the college football playoff. A lot of people are going to hate this. LSU fans are going to say, fire Brian Kelly. It's going to be a storm, but it's going to be fun to watch. And I got Mississippi State in this one. At 12:30 on ESPN, Minnesota versus the 20th ranked North Carolina. I think this one's not going to be close. We saw how bad Minnesota's offense was, especially in the first game against Nebraska. You compare that to North Carolina's high-flying offense with Drake May. I just think North Carolina is going to blow them out of the water. Minnesota's defense is only going to be able to stop them for so long, and it also helps that this game is in Chapel Hill. North Carolina's at home. I think this one's going to be a win from North Carolina by at least 14 points. The 8th ranked electric Washington Huskies travel to East Lansing to take on the Michigan State Spartans. This one's pretty weird. It's at 2:00 p.m. on the Peacock Network. You know college football is changing with all the media deals and all that, all the time slots. I've never watched a game on Peacock, and this is just weird. I don't think it's going to bring in a lot of viewers, and I don't think it really needs to because Washington's going to handle. They're favored by 16.5. I believe they cover that. There's just too much going on in the Michigan State program right now with the Mel Tucker suspension. They're not going to be able to stop Michael Penix and that 5-wide-out offense. Washington gets this job done easy, and you know I won't be watching this game because who watches games on Peacock, and I know you're not going to watch it either. Next up, the game that I all clickbaited you on. This is the reason why you clicked on the video from the funny thumbnail. The Wyoming Cowboys take on the 4th-ranked Texas Longhorns. The Longhorns are favored by 30, but I don't believe in this at all. They just had a big win against Alabama last week. They're definitely going to sleep on Wyoming and think that, oh, this is an easy game. Wyoming, whoop-de-doo. We're not going to play that hard. They're going to have a little bit of a hangover effect, and I wouldn't be surprised if this game's close. I'm telling you. I'm not going to say Wyoming's winning the game, but this is going to be a fun one, and this is actually the reason why I made the thumbnail, because I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. Wyoming has a great veteran quarterback. He's a dog. His name's Andrew Peasley, and he's going to do his thing. They already beat Texas Tech in the first game. They already have that win over a Big 12 opponent. I really like this game. Unfortunately, I do not get the Longhorn Network. I'm going to have to run this on Stream East on my computer, but it should be a fun one. Tune in and don't sleep on this game. TCU travels to face Houston at 5:00 p.m. I really like this game because these two teams are conference rivals now. Houston coming from the American switching over to the Big 12, and I like a lot of those teams like Houston, UCF, BYU switching over to the Big 12. It makes it just a more interesting conference, and these teams both are 1-1. They took a tough loss, TCU obviously to Colorado, and then Houston last week to Rice. I think they were looking over Rice because they were getting ready for this game, this conference matchup, and now they're both 1-1. I think they're about even on skill level, and I'm excited. I'm going to go with Houston in this game just because they're at home. TCU is favored by 7.5, but again, that confidence thing, I think that loss to Colorado really hit TCU's confidence, and I'm going Houston in this one. The new member of the Big 12 wins at home. To finish off the amazing day of college football like it always is, at 7:00 p.m. on ESPN, the Colorado State Rams face the Colorado Buffaloes in a rivalry matchup. And just to show you how uninteresting this Week 3 seems on the surface, which it's not, I just told you guys that, College Game Day and Big Noon Kickoff will be at this game. An unranked team versus the Colorado Buffaloes. Colorado's favored by 23.5, and I think they easily win. They're going to put 50. They might even put 60 on the head, and it's just going to propel Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter in that Heisman conversation. And if the Buffs needed more fuel for this game, Coach Jay Norvell of Colorado State took shots at Deion Sanders in an interview today. He said, "I sat down with ESPN today, and I don't care if they hear it in Boulder. I told them I took my hat off and I took my glasses off. When I talk to grown-ups, I take my hat and glasses off," obviously referencing Deion Sanders, who always has his shiny sunglasses on, his hat around the media. And Colorado took offense to this because, as we know, Deion takes that stuff personal. He's going to have his team ready to play, and you don't want to poke the bear, especially if you're Colorado State. And in this case, poke the Buffalo. Colorado easily wins. That's it for the video. Just remember, keep the receipts. Come back here on Sunday after these games are over, and you could either say, "Wow, you're a genius," or "You're an idiot." I love to hear it. Love, hate, just leave it in the comments. Thank you so much for reaching the end of the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel, and I will see you later this week.